The Ray-Ban Meta Gen 2s versus the Oakley Vanguard. Which one is the best for you and which one is just better in general? Previously, I thought this was like a clear distinction between these two products, but now that I've tested both of them, the most recent update has came out, and I've learned a bunch of other things about these products that are kind of lies from the initial MetaConnect announcement. My opinion has actually completely changed, so make sure you stay tuned, watch till the end of the video to see everything that's changed. But first, if you appreciate me digging deep into both these glasses, doing tons of tests, and not just giving you like surface level, this is how the specs compare, all I ask is that you subscribe so you can see more of the content that you want to see. So the first category we're comparing these in is style and weight. So the Gen 2s are just in general going to have way more style options. If you're a pretty stylish person and you just want something that looks good in any situation, whether it's a sport or just chilling or just doing literally anything, you cannot beat the classic look of the Wayfarers. They also have the Skylar and Headliner models as well, and a ton of different frame colors and lens colors with each of those. On top of that, you also have an enormous third-party accessory ecosystem, especially for the Wayfarer, which is exemplified by the fact that these are the exact same dimensions as the Gen 1s. Also, they both weigh 49 grams, so super light. I've used lenses in the Gen 1s, in the Gen 2s. They fit in both. So if you have an old prescription that you use in your Gen 1s and you upgrade to the Gen 2s, you don't have to get that prescription again. You can just get them without one and then put your old one in the new ones. As long as it's, you know, both regular or both large, they'll fit across generations, which is really nice. You also have clip-ons, the battery accessory, mirrored lenses, transition colored lenses, all sorts of different things to make your Ray-Ban Metas unique. Now, the one complaint I have about these is there are no nose pads that come with it. You can get them third party. I'll try to remember to leave a link in the description. But the problem with this is they tend to feel more front heavy than any glasses that do have nose pads, like the Roka glasses or like the Oakley Vanguards, which have nose pads. So even though the Vanguards are heavier, they don't feel as front heavy as these Ray-Ban Metas do. But again, you can just buy nose pads online, third party, super easy. Try to put a link in the description. Up next is the style of the Vanguards. Now these come in 4 different styles, and this is a brand new product, so there's basically no accessory market as far as replacing things for it yet. They weigh in at 66 grams, and this is the classic wraparound Oakley look that people who ride bikes wear, runners, all sorts of different sports people love this style, and I personally think it's really cool as well. But again, there's only 4 different styles. 2 of them have white frames, 2 of them have black frames. There's gold, red, blue, and gray. I think the red and blue ones look the coolest, but also the gold ones look pretty cool. The gray ones are very neutral if you like a more neutral look. They look really cool, but you have to like that style. If you don't, then you're just not going to like them. That's all I really have to say about that. Also, I would say in general, the lenses that come with the Vanguards are just higher quality than the Gen 2s. I noticed that these smudge easier than the Vanguards, and they're prism lenses, so they're just better quality. They cost more to make. Think of that what you will, but you can just get third-party lenses that are way better than the Wayfarers. I have tons of videos on that if you want to check any of those out. Now, these do fit really tightly, and this isn't a bad thing, because if you're doing any extreme sports, they're not going to fall off. Mark said he went surfing with them. There's people like riding bikes at high speed, skateboarding. I've even done flips with these on. They're not going to fall off anywhere near as easily as the Ray-Ban Metas would. Those don't fall off super easily either, but these are like a whole new level of just wrap around your face, super tight. They're designed to be worn under helmets. The eye coverage is also like a million times better. So all of your vision is going to be like the same color. You're not going to have light leakage from any of the sides, and you're also not going to have random dust coming up and blurring out the glasses a little bit while you're riding around, because the coverage is so good. So if you're very active, the style just in general is better from the Oakleys. On top of that, another really nice design thing is the extra custom button. This is going to be on the bottom, and it's going to be your dedicated quick connect button. So whether you want to call someone really fast, text someone really fast, share a photo or video really fast, or access a bunch of different Garmin stats really quickly on the spot, that extra custom button is going to be life-saving. Up next is the app list. Now, originally, based on MetaConnect, this is where we thought these things would differ more, right? These are designed for sports people. These are designed for everyday wearers. You're going to get Amazon Music, Apple Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, Shazam, Spotify, Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar. But in addition to all of those apps that you would already get on both of these to begin with, the Garmin Watch and the Garmin Watch app and the Strava app integration have also been added to the Gen 2s and Gen 1. So no matter which Meta glasses you have, you will have all those really cool sports features. The only exception is you won't have the indicator light to like show you your pacing, which is honestly a really little feature. I would say that being able to ask about your stats, being able to overlay your stats on like your Instagram stories and stuff like that, Facebook stories, super cool. And you get those with all of these. That's not a unique feature of the Vanguard. Like it was shown to be at MetaConnect, it actually is present in all of them. In addition to that, we also get new Apple Health integration. Also in both of these, you can overlay any of your Apple Health stats, which is, you know, the free way to get health stats as opposed to Strava, which you had to pay for. And you can get all of those on both of these glasses too, with the overlays, with sending them to friends, posting a story, everything. So if you're super into sports, the Ray-Ban Meta Gen 2s or Gen 1s are still both really good options because they've added those features to all of them. Okay, next I'm going to show you comparisons between the different photo and video. So here's both photos. They are both 12 megapixels. So the Gen 2 on the left and the Vanguard on the right. First off, you can see that the Vanguard is much wider in the field of view. There's less sun glare and the details are a lot crisper. So that is definitely a positive for the Vanguard, especially if you like a wider field of view, which means you get more of the image in there. So look at that, you see way more of the car on the left in the Vanguard image. But the pole by that car is slightly curved. Now in real life, it's straight like in the Gen 2 image. So because it is slightly fisheye, you're gonna get a very slight distortion on straight lines, just like that. So on that side, the Gen 2 could be a little bit better. Now this next picture, they are pretty similar. Again, Vanguard's a little bit wider. The contrast is pretty even here on both of them though. They don't look super different on that front. Now on this image, you can tell the vertical field of view really makes a difference. You can see the entire tree top to bottom and just as much of the bottom of the frame as well in both of them. So the Vanguard here, much wider field of view. Whether or not wider field of view is good or not is up to your preference. Finally, here's just a picture using the Vanguard. As you can see, it always does a really good job of making sun glares not blur up the entire screen, unlike the Gen 2s or any of the Ray-Ban Metas. So that is a feature that I really like. As for video modes, both of these have a pretty wide variety here. So first I'm going to show you 1080 30 FPS. This is the video mode you want to use if you want to get the max recording limit and control the stabilization. So in this mode, you can get 5 minutes of recording limit and you can change the stabilization from low, medium, or high. Here I have it set to low because with low stabilization, you actually get the widest field of view on both. As you can see in the Vanguard though, it's even wider. I mean, you can actually see the handlebars and my hands on the Vanguard and you can't see them on the Gen 2s, which makes a huge difference for content like this. You also see the sun glare is much less noticeable in the Vanguards, with the sun not blocking up the entire screen at all, but it looks like the stabilization is a little bit rockier on the Vanguard since the Gen 2 is more punched in and probably does more stabilization even on the low end. Up next, we have the 3K 30 FPS test. Now, when you're at 3K, you're gonna be locked into that medium stabilization, so it's gonna be more cropped in on the Vanguards as well. As you can see, the sun glare is still a bit of an issue on the Gen 2s, but as you can see, when we look away from the sun, it's a lot more even. Like the frames look basically the same as far as field of view, and the colors look a lot more similar when filming at this more high resolution 3K. Honestly, I would even say that the Gen 2s actually have a little bit more contrast at 3K than the Vanguards. The Vanguards look more HDR in this situation, and the shadows in the Gen 2 are a little bit darker, which is interesting because it seemed like it was the opposite when we were shooting at 1080 30. Now again, 3K 30 FPS, you're only going to be able to record 3 minutes max, stuck at medium stabilization, but this is great if you want to punch into horizontal for YouTube videos or whatever else and keep those details in there. But honestly, both of these pretty near identical when it comes to 3K 30 FPS. Up next, we have 1080 60 FPS, which is 50% slow motion. Again, the Vanguards look a little bit clearer here. The Gen 2s look a tiny bit muddy or hazy, I would say, and you get an ever so slightly wider field of view with the Vanguards. It's definitely noticeable, but not as noticeable as when you're doing 1080 30 with low stabilization. But this here is 720 120 FPS in the Vanguards with still the 60 FPS in the Gen 2s. Now 120 FPS is coming to the Gen 2s, but it's not working yet. As you can see, much slower, looks really, really cool, but it is a tiny bit blurrier. Finally, we have hyperlapse mode. Now this is on the Vanguard. It is coming to the Gen 2s, but hasn't been added yet. This is like a fast motion video. It looks really cool for long bike rides or things like that. As you can see, when you're not in a stabilized surface, it does look really jittery. Once I'm on the scooter, it looks a little better, but there have been complaints about tilting of heads and of this not looking the smoothest. So hopefully they fix that. Next up is the battery life. So the Gen 2s have 8 hours of battery and the Vanguards have 9 hours of battery. Not a huge improvement, and going to 66 grams, you'd expect, you know, a little bit more of a battery improvement. But if you need like the maximum battery and you're not going to use a battery accessory, like now will only fit on the Ray-Ban Meta Wayfarers, then you're going to get a little bit more, especially if you're on like a really long run and you're recording lots and lots of footage or doing some other exercise activity. Then that extra hour is going to come in handy. But also when you're recording video, that's not going to be an entire extra hour. It'll probably be like an extra 5 or 10 minutes of actual video recording, which could be like a life-saving thing for you. But again, if you just get the Gen 2s, get a battery accessory, you can just record forever and never run out of battery. So that makes it a little harder to choose on the battery life here, but if you don't want any wires, then Vanguards just have better battery life. Now, as far as extra capabilities, both of these have auto capture through Garmin, where they will take photos and videos during whatever workout you're doing and organize them together in post, have a little AI summary and all that stuff, which is really cool. Next is like the speakers and sound quality. So both of them have really good speakers and sound quality, but the Vanguards are designed so that you can still ask Meta to do things in up to 30 mile/hour winds and also hear like music, whatever it is, in those 30 mile/hour winds. So that is really cool if you're doing that really fast stuff. Like again, there are things in design that are just better about the Vanguard glasses if you do lots of fast-paced sports. But it's not as many of the features as we initially thought from MetaConnect. Now, before we get into more unique features and the waterproof testing, you could get up to $325 when you make a free account with SoFi. SoFi, if you didn't know, is just an online bank, which in my opinion, it's just way superior to traditional banks. I used to use Bank of America for years and Wells Fargo, and I just got really annoyed with the amount of bottlenecks and like random times they would like cancel my charges, customer service issues, like times I get scammed and they just wouldn't refund me. None of which have been a problem with SoFi whatsoever. Like I've been nothing but happy. On top of that, I earned 4.25% interest per year on my savings account, which I pay all of my bills through. It takes the money out of the savings all the time, every month. And there's never any issues it runs into with like not paying or me withdrawing too many times to pay stuff. Nothing. So I earn money on my money and I'm able to pay all my bills, pay my credit card bills, everything just using that savings account, which is really, really nice. You're not going to get anywhere close to those rates at somewhere like Bank of America or Wells Fargo or US Bank. I also had a bank account with them recently until I canceled all 3 of those. And you won't run into an issue where you're paying your student loans and then the bank decides to like retract it later, take back your money, and then you get charged a bunch of extra interest for the next month and a big late fee because US Bank just decided we're actually going to unpay that student loan bill for no reason, even though you had the money in the account. It doesn't matter. That never happens with my SoFi bank account. I've been with them for almost a year and I don't think I'm ever going back, to be honest. But if you sign up using the link in the description, you can get anywhere from $25 to $325 for free when you make that account. Super easy. And I like referring people to better services. Not sponsored by them at all, although that would be really cool. So SoFi, if you're watching this, sponsor me. Okay, back to the features. So there's a couple features that are unique to each of these products. I've already mentioned the Oakley Vanguards have that indicator light. They have the extra custom button. They have better sound quality and mic quality in high winds. So what do the Ray-Bans have that's unique? And the main thing here is going to be conversation focused. This is that mode where you can cancel out the sounds of other people around you and just hone in on the person you're looking at that moment with the directional microphones in the Ray-Ban Meta. This is going to be coming to the Gen 2s and Gen 1. I wish I could test it, but it still hasn't come out yet. Probably going to come out in an update in November. But that is another thing setting them apart if you happen to be hearing impaired or have trouble focusing when a bunch of people are talking at once. The next big difference between these glasses is the waterproof rating. Gen 2 is IPX4, Oakley Vanguards are IP67. Now I was really excited about this, to take this on water sports, maybe go swimming with them, do all sorts of stuff, because a lot of people, they're just afraid to even take their Ray-Ban Metas out in the rain. I've gone paddleboarding with them, I've gone waterfall kayaking with them, like literally kayaked off waterfalls, had water splash all over me, never had a problem. Sorry, that's with the Gen 1s, these are the Gen 2s, but same IPX4 rating. So I really don't think it will be a problem unless you like submerge them in water. But these, Zuck said he surfed with them. There's a clip of someone using them literally going underwater and it shows this entire thing. It still records the video. Looks great. Super excited to try these out in water sports until I learned that Meta released a statement saying these are not suitable for submersion or high-speed water sports. And if you watch the trailer for the Vanguards, they get submerged and they use them in high-speed water sports. but then Meta released a statement saying that it's not suitable for those. So if you're really excited about the water resistance, I have bad news. I probably would not submerge these in water. IP67 means they can go down to 1 meter underwater, which is like 3 feet and 3 inches, for I think it's up to like 30 seconds, a minute, something like that. So basically, if you're like swimming, doing any water thing like that, and you go more than 3 feet down under the water, you're toast. So I just would not bring it anywhere near anything like that. That being said, if it's like a torrential downpour, you'd probably be a lot more fine wearing these than the Gen 2s, but overall, this still isn't like the super great waterproof GoPro action camera that I was hoping they'd be, at least for that. So that's kind of something that they led us to believe one way with the advertising and then literally said that it's not suitable for those exact things after the advertisement in a quote. So which one of these is for you? Honestly, I think that for most people, the Gen 2s are just better. There's way more styles, there's way more customization. You can get that infinite battery accessory. Even though they already last 8 hours, which is good for a day's use, you still get Garmin, Strava, Apple Health integration, can do a lot of that fun sports stuff, but you don't have to buy a dedicated pair of sports glasses. And you still get 3K 30 FPS recording and the ability to do low stabilization at 1080/30 and up to 5 minutes of recording for both a wider field of view and a longer recording time. That being said, the Oakley Vanguards are still perfect if you want that extra custom button. If you're going to be listening to music or talking to them in really high-speed winds, if you have a really active life and you'd like the style of these better, these are going to be the better choice for you. If you have a Garmin watch, you can use either one. Or lastly, if you just want as much wide angle, ultra wide as possible for zooming into horizontal, although it's basically the same on the Roku glasses anyways, and those have a horizontal setting in them, so you don't have to do it in post. But what do you guys think? Which of these is the better pair of smart glasses? Which one did you get or are you going to get? Or is there some other pair of smart glasses that you're more excited about? Leave all your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.